So each thing we come to see, each time our consciousness opens up, and there's that great sense of belonging. That great sense of belonging. Mind could ask, belonging to what? Just belonging. The experience of unity is an experience of belonging. And I see it in people's eyes all the time. So this is what all human beings are really looking for, the deepest kind of belonging. An intimacy with themselves, with existence, with each other. However you want to describe that intimacy, oneness, unity, all that. But when you tear away the words oneness and unity and ask yourself, well, what does that actually mean in the human experience? What does that kind of revelation leave in its wake? What it tends to leave is a deep sense of belonging, and simultaneously a deep sense of your own sovereignty. And this is one of the two things I find in all of us human beings that we're looking for, is a deep sense of belonging on every level. People look for a deep sense of belonging in their families and then their relationships, and then they fall in love and they want to have a sense of belonging in their loves and their you have spiritual communities you belong to. You have all sorts of different cultures within life, little subcultures, People that are into computer chips, and you gather with a group of people who love studying computer chips, and they're belonging, and they love once again the human tendency to enjoy, to get a deep sense of affirmation by some sort of belonging. It's something that's sort of hardwired into us, a sense of just wanting to belong, wanting to, not just in a psychological way, that's important too, but in something that's sort of deep existential sense of belonging. If you care to look deep enough, what we come to find is no matter how much belonging we found in life, until we've finally found a belonging within ourselves, we will continue the search. No amount of other forms of belonging will ultimately put to rest that ceaseless search for a kind of deep and ultimate belonging, a kind of existential belonging. That kind of belonging comes from deep within ourselves. That kind of belonging we have to dig very, very deep for. And often people really don't start to dig for it until they realize that no matter how many other ways they belong in life, they find their belonging, that there's still something inside that's not totally satisfied. So I said that the deepest spiritual awakenings bring us sort of this paradoxical sense of tremendous belonging, but also extraordinary sovereignty. By sovereignty, I mean a kind of, what would you say? Autonomy. Paradoxically, right? The more you belong at the deepest sense, the more autonomy you sense in yourself, the more autonomy you feel. Because you finally belong at the deepest roots of your being. And it seems to me this is what, in many, many, many different ways, that everyone's looking for. The belonging that comes only from the deepest, deepest roots of your being.